And welcome back to the locker room. Hosting you guys once again, myself, Greg, and my two little minions here, Tyler and Chris. How you guys doing today?
Not too bad. It's been a pretty eventful evening. My Stars lost to the Red Wings, so I'm a little pissed off about that. But other than that, I think I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing?
Oh, not bad. It's fucking pissing rain outside, so been hearing that through the window, but other than that, good.
Right on.
It's good to hear, guys. Good to hear. Yeah, no, definitely going on good today. Had beautiful weather today, actually. I was like shocked. Oh, it was so nice.
It was really nice.
Killer, actually, yeah.
Nice here too until about 20 minutes ago.
Until about 20 minutes ago. Fair enough. We got a couple things for you guys today. We've got Tyson Barrie in Edmonton there. What do you guys think about the future for him at all? If we think about if Edmonton Oilers going to make enough cap room space for him, he's going to walk. We'll find out. That we'll just put in our little opinion and twist of what we think is going to happen with him. We also have Arizona as a whole. What are they going to do? They haven't seemed like they've been in a bit of hot water over the past couple of years over some couple trivial things, and so what's going to happen with them? They're going to rebuild and come into a new focus group sort of thing and focus a new route that way, or who knows? We'll talk about that as well today. After that, we've got Fantasy Draft, of course, as always, hosted by the lovely and beautiful, wonderful Chris here today. And then we got trivia for you guys. Or
I think it's safe to say Chris and Greg are going to the Olive Garden tonight.
You putting that on just for me, Beauty? Oh,
better hold the door first.
No, it's just for the fantasy. Gotta make sure it's smelling good.
Make sure it's smelling good, And after that, then of course, we gotta figure out if Tyler Croome here and Chris are gonna finally actually go positive on one of these trivia setups that we have going on for you guys tonight.
Negative. Okay, we're tested negative for COVID, but positive for being a bit of a dumbass. So let's rock and roll.
All right, let's jump right into it. Tyson Berry, what do you guys think about him with the Oilers right now?
He looks completely rejuvenated. I think that he's definitely raised his stock and value. I think. I think a big reason of that is McDavid and Draisaitl, and that power play there has definitely helped boost his points. And I think at this point, you got to think Tyson Berry would be willing to stay in Edmonton. But one's got to think if Colorado, if a team out there is gonna offer up enough money, is that gonna be enough to keep him in Edmonton, or is he gonna go sign with another team?
Yeah, it really raises the question because you're right. When you have two superstars like that, you play on the first power play. We know Barry has the upside offensively. Not the best in his own end at times, but still, I think the offensive side definitely outweighs the defensive side for sure. And we look at that, and he's going to want money in the offseason when it gets to that point. And Edmonton's still got a good core of defensemen around. You got to remember Oscar Klefbom is probably going to come back next season. Yeah. So there's a healthy Klefbom makes that Oilers D core strong. It makes you wonder if maybe the Oilers won't sign him, and they'll go with the young players they have on defense, because they do have a good amount of young defensemen, including Evan Bouchard, Ethan Bear, Darnell Nurse came into his own so far this season. So they got some pieces there to work with, and I think a lot of teams would be definitely willing to get a player like Tyson Berry who can run your power play one.
No, it's very true. And also at the same time, you got Evan Bouchard, who in the games he's played has looked excellent. He's a guy that's going to be making the jump next year, full-time guaranteed. There's a good chance Philip Broberg's in that conversation, so we'll see what they do with that. Personally, I'd like to see them get a deal done there for Barrie. I do think Barrie brings an element offensively that Klefbom, quite honestly, didn't really bring. That's no knock on Klefbom. I think Klefbom is a solid top four defender, but I think Tyson Berry in this situation is just having that much more of an impact. And I think if there's a way where they can move out Larson and re-sign Barrie, I think that D-core with having Broberg and Bouchard making the jump, I think they're going to be in a really good position going forward. Just money is the biggest conversation. Like if they got to work that out. I don't think it's impossible, but it is a task that Holland will need to commit to in order to get it done.
Oh, yeah, definitely agree. Money's always a big thing, Like, man, fuck, my broke pockets need some money right now. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even have to sign anyone.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Arizona? There's been some trivial things going on with them over the past couple of years, and what do you guys think? Think it's time for a rebuild?
Man, I mean, this is a tough one because, Arizona, they kind of been in that rebuild for a while. They've drafted core pieces and Jacob Chikrin. They got Clayton Keller, Barrett Hayton, brought in Nick Schmaltz. And ultimately, I feel like, I don't want to say their core is a bad core. Like, they got good pieces there, but I mean, they got hit with a penalty. They lost the first round pick last year. Taylor Hall walked. One has to think, do they believe this core is good enough to really like build around it, or are they going to blow it up again and try and maybe build around potentially Barrett Hayton? That's a conversation I think Chris can tap in more.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation because they have a lot of different pieces on that team. Obviously, Phil Kessel's been brutal this year.
Yeah,
I think he's been very underwhelming for them. But that's the thing is they have a lot of young pieces and a lot of young pieces they can build around right now on that team.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder, it's hard, do they like half-ass the rebuild? Is that what they do? Because I don't know if you can necessarily fully blow it up with all the young pieces they have.
no.
So
Okay.
that's where my question comes in with them. I think they're kind of in a rock meets a hard place, kind of situation there in Arizona. So yeah, I think the draft pick thing as well kind of throws an anchor in there as well. Yeah, no, you're right, because then you can't say, oh, we got this player, now our future's looking bright. We can maybe make a move and better our team now, knowing we have some guys coming up that in our system, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's hard for me to say what Arizona can do because right now I don't see them making the playoffs this year out of being a top 4 team in the West. So what do they do at the deadline, right?
Yeah.
Do they stand pat? Do they move a couple pieces? Like I personally think they move a couple pieces and try to get, not super young, but younger, but also, kind of NHL ready where they can still grow a bit, kind of pieces in Arizona. But yeah, that's what I think they got to do. I don't think you can completely blow it up because they do have a lot of good young talent.
Oh, for sure. And it's tough to look at that Arizona makeup. And I mean, their first pick in the last draft, Mitch Miller. I mean, there was that huge controversy of what happened after. They had to buy him out and release him. Man, so like really, I don't know how deep the draft pool really is at this moment. And the other thing you have to consider is their starting goaltender, Darcy Kemper. He's over 30. Ranta is also over 30. Who do they really have in the wings and net? Like, I think Aiden Hill's an option, but is he going to be like a number one guy for them, like going forward?
I think he's the fringe starter.
Yeah, right. And I mean, I think there's a slight chance he kind of becomes that starter, but like Chris said, it's more likely he's going to be a fringe guy. So yeah, there's some question marks there. So we'll see what path they choose to go down.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But as of right now, I wouldn't want to be an Arizona fan.
No,
that's fair. Well, moving on from that, next up we have fantasy. Chris, what's been going on with fantasy this week?
Yeah, there's been a couple players who have stood out for me. One, I think, is under the radar. I'll talk about 2 from Detroit.
Okay.
Robbie Fabry obviously had a natural hat trick tonight. I think he's in a good place with Detroit. Another one is Philip Roenick. I think it was really flown under the radar, defensive with Detroit, playing power play with them. He's getting assists all over the board, and I don't think enough people are really talking about that.
No.
In Detroit, and I think he's a much more talented defenseman that people will give him credit for. So I've been impressed with those 2 guys. I don't think we could not talk about, Trevor Zegras, Jamie Drysdale. Drysdale got called up today, played his first game, goal and assist so far. I believe that game's in the 3rd period as we speak right now. Okay. So if you can get your hands on Jamie Drysdale, I'm sure Zegras is probably gone in a lot of leagues. But but Drysdale just being called up now, I think if you get have your chance to pick him up, I'd say do so. Another one, I mean, I don't think we could not talk about Mika Zibanejad. I mean, look what he did last night. I mean, what was it, 6 points?
Yeah.
in the win against the Flyers. And it makes you wonder. I know it's a little off topic, but the Rangers didn't have their whole coaching staff, and they put up 9. So I think that just goes to prove the point about that situation. But I think if you can get your hands on Mika Zibanejad, people may have dropped him. They might be selling low on him.
Okay.
There's obviously the potential for him to turn it around, and he's showing the flashes for sure. So we'll have to see on that.
Yep.
Tyler, you got anything?
Yeah, I'm going to go point back to Tim Stützle with Ottawa. I mean, he was slumping for a little bit, but I think from what I've seen, he's been relatively consistent. He's a guy that's
okay.
I mean, he's a part of an Ottawa core that, I mean, they've been on the up. I think Ottawa has progressively improved and become a little bit more consistent as the season's gone on. So he's a guy I would definitely take a look at. This is a tough one for me, looking at the Dallas Stars, Roope Hintz. He is sort of dealing with an injury. That's why he's going to be a game time decision for most games. But when he's in the lineup, he's putting up big points in fantasy. So I'd have to say Roope Hintz is another one. Those are my 2.
So yeah, right on. Can't think you can go wrong with those guys.
No.
Well, thanks for the information, the guys, this week. We'll move on next to trivia. Got some more questions for you guys today. Starting off with a pretty good one, actually. I think that'll be quite interesting. We'll see how many names I butcher this week.
Big Jug.
Big Jug. Hashtag Big Jug.
Big Jug stab.
All right. So how many shorthanded goals did the Nashville Predators allow in the 2013-2014 season? Was it 36, 0, 8, or 2?
Can you reread the question?
How many shorthanded goals did the Nashville Predators allow in the 2013-2014 season?
I'm going to go 0.
0? Okay.
I'm going to go on the opposite end of the spectrum. I'm going to go 36.
The answer is 0.
Fuck off.
With the 2013-2014 Predators set an NHL record that can never be broken. The fewest shorthanded goals in the season was 0. Allowed in the season, 0.
Oh, man. I mean, it makes sense. I just wanted to be the exact opposite as Chris on that one.
Just in case?
Just in case.
I just thought it was a little over dramatic. 36, I think that's like whoa. But yeah.
No, that's fair.
Fair. All right. What did the Florida Panther fans throw on the ice during the 95-96 season? Was it lobster, octopus, rats, or catfish?
Rats.
Yeah, rats.
Tyler Croome quick on the answer to the ball on that one.
Yeah, it's rats.
We're both locking in on rats. You guys are both correct.
Bingo.
An unusual goal celebration developed in Miami during the 95-96 season. One night, the Panthers' home opener, a rat scurried across the team's locker room. Scott Mellenby reacted by one-timing the rat against the wall, killing it. That night, he scored 2 goals, which goaltender John Van Biesbroek?
Van Biesbroek.
Van Biesbroek.
Okay. Quipped was a rat trick. 2 nights later, as the story made its way through the local media, fans began throwing rubber rats on the ice in a celebration of the goal. The rubber rat went from 16 for the third home game and over 2,000 during the playoffs.
Nice.
In what round of the NHL entry draft did Columbus Blue Jackets select Cam Atkinson? Was it the 3rd round, the 6th round, the 1st round, or the 4th round?
6.
Yeah, I was going to say 6 as well.
Both are correct again. Atkinson was known for his great speed, soft hands, and his excellent shooting skills. Was selected by the Blue Jackets in the 6th round, 157th overall in the 2008 entry draft.
Purely on his size. I think Atkinson, if he was, a couple inches taller, he would have probably been a 3rd, 4th round pick. Like, I'd put money on it.
Yeah, agreed.
That's fair. That's definitely fair. Which player was suspended 25 games for a hit on Chicago's Marin Hossa during the 2012 Stanley Cup playoffs? Was it Raffi Torres, Keith Yandel? Here's a name I'm going to butcher, but we're going to go Rostislav Klesa?
Oh, frick. Rodislav
Rodislav
Kelsla, isn't it?
Klesla.
Yeah, Kelesa or what? I don't even know.
Klesa?
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I know
All
what you're
right,
saying.
so I don't feel bad now. I don't feel as bad. And then Martin Hansel.
Well, 100% hands down is Raffi Torres.
Yeah, Raffi Torres. I remember that shit.
Yeah.
Raffi Torres, a physical forward-checking forward. Forward-checking. A physical forward-checking forward with offensive capabilities, was suspended 5 games for illegal hits to opponent's head. He received the 4th longest suspension in the history of the NHL at the time for his hit to the head of Marian Hossa in Game 3 of the 2012 Western Conference quarterfinals while playing against the Phoenix Coyotes.
Now, here's a little bit of Kroomski trivia. Do you guys know what position, like which selection Raffi Torres was picked?
Like what round?
Round and spot.
Was he a second rounder?
No.
Higher?
Higher.
He was a first round pick?
Yep.
First round pick, and was supposed to play a position of goalie.
No, like he was a forward, but
okay.
I'm more like what which draft position and like
pick 9.
Round? Higher.
6.
You're very hot.
5.
Yeah.
Wow, that's embarrassing.
That is embarrassing. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, that's a disaster.
All right. Which 2 Minnesota Wild players were signed identical contracts in 2012?
It is Ryan Suter and Zach Parise.
Yep. The worst contracts to move in NHL 21 if you were using the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah.
Well, these guys are on fire today because that is correct. In the 2012 season, Wild signed unrestricted free agent winger Zach Parise in the Twin City Natives defenseman Ryan Sutter in an identical 13-year and $98 million contracts. It's insane.
It was big. Like that contract, they're kicking themselves now. With
100%. I don't blame them.
Parise. Well, Parise's had really bad back problems. Like it's not aging well at all.
No.
Fair enough. I got one more here for you guys today. Last question. Who did the Ottawa Senators receive from the New York Islanders in exchange for Alexei Yashin? Zdeno Chara, Jason Spezza, Bill McClat?
Sure. I don't even know.
Or all of them.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
They received that from the Islanders?
No, it's not all. I don't think it's all of them because they drafted Spezza.
Scott, I think it's Chara.
I know for a fact it's Chara.
The answer is all of these. Actually.
Not a chance. Unless the loophole is that they traded the pick, which then Ottawa used to select Spezza, but then that's a backhanded question.
Yashin, while a star for a short time in Ottawa, was a sore spot for the organization. He had a habit of disappearing in the playoffs and sat out for the 1999-2000 season in the attempt to renegotiate his contract. By trading him away, the Senators got a top defenseman, Zdeno Chara, the second overall pick, which turned into a number 1 center, Jason Spezza.
That's so stupid.
And Bill McClat, who never scored a goal for the Senators and kept this trade from being a complete heist.
See, it's really funny because Yashin, like, he's your typical Russian, bad attitude, super lazy, only cared about the money. Like, but it's interesting, right? Because that question was complete crap. because they didn't like it was Spezza wasn't an Islander when he went over, so like it's a little backhanded. I don't
Yeah,
like
I know
that.
it is.
Fair enough. Well, that's all I've got for you guys today. And we'll wrap it up here by saying thanks, guys, so much for watching. Make sure to follow us on all of our social medias so that way you guys can keep up to date and what we're posting. You can see our other sources of entertainment that we have for you guys as well. Of course, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Spotify. Thanks, guys, for coming on for with me.
Awesome. Have a good night, guys. Cheers.
All right. Remember to make sure you guys keep living the dream.
That's right.
The dream is being living.
Ready to start the Prince George locker room or what?
Fuck you. Prince George, man. Literally, I don't even know why I said Prince George.
Welcome back to the Prince George locker room.
It's like, fuck.
My name's
Cut
Gregor
that.
Law, and we're going to be talking about facilities. George Mayer.
Oh, I'm always a dipshit. Like, this ain't new. Yeah, everything's great.
My poop burns.